Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Partner Podcast with Daya Naef. Today, I have Payton Moran joining us, and we are on location at Daphne River Villa. And Payton, who owns Piece of Cake Marketing, is working with our women professionals on their brand. So welcome, Payton. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Alrighty. So I'm a business coach. We'll jump right into it. I'm a business coach for other women in business. So similar to what you do, but also different in a way that I think we have different zones of genius. So primarily I work with my clients on brand messaging, marketing, and sales strategies. So very much the client acquisition side. And my entire goal for people is just to make it simple. That's where Piece of Cake Marketing came from. So I know, especially as women, we can have a need to perfect things or overcomplicate things. So keeping it simple is kind of like the lens in which I view scaling your business and growing your business. So yeah.
I love that. And so you did allude to like Piece of Cake being like just a snap.
Yep.
Any other reason you came up with that?
Honestly, I really wanted to do a photo shoot with a cake. Like I did, so I came into the online space. I came into the coaching space doing money coaching because at the time I was doing financial services. I was building that with my husband and I just hated it. I just did not enjoy it at all. And I was also freelancing graphic design at the same time. So I was kind of like, I got to pick something. Well, came into the online space and everybody was like, go with money. Like that's what's going to make money. It didn't. So that's a, false belief that we spread around. But I came in as a money coach and things just kind of spiraled from there. And once I really pivoted back towards branding and business and messaging, the creative side, which I love, I was like, this has got to be more simple. Like I have got to find a way to show people that this can be so simple. They are overcomplicating it. They are over perfecting it, overthinking it. So I was like, I really it needs to be a piece of cake for people. It needs to be simple. And so when that thought hit me, I was just like, I just saw the cake in my mind. I was like, oh, this is a whole brand opportunity.
I love it.
And a chance to be memorable and a chance to bring something kind of more fun into my brand, because I know so many times as coaches, we make things really serious. Like we're not afraid to deep dive. So we just go right for it. So I really wanted to bring some fun in there. And that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a deep dive. And I love your bright colors, the cake. I have seen the cake in your marketing.
The cake is everywhere.
I love it. I absolutely, I do. And so you focus also working with women professionals.
Yep, I do. And it's not because I'm a man hater. It's because I relate to women more. I know the unique challenges and mindset blocks and beliefs that are solidified, and marketing, even following the exact same strategies, exact same principles, can be so different for a woman than it is for a man, because we're worried about being seen. We're worried about being visible. We're worried about someone judging us a lot more than a man. And so that's kind of where I relate to people most. And also because I didn't become an entrepreneur until I had my first daughter. So my oldest is 4. She'll be 5 in a few months. And I didn't create my first business until I had her. And I saw everyone around me doing the same thing. It's like clockwork. I see women have babies. A month or two later, they're starting businesses because we want something where we can stay at home. We want something where it's flexible. We can build our own income. And then when our kids are a little bit older, we can jump in and scale something. So I also relate to women on that level.
I love that.
Primarily why I work with them.
I love that. It's so creative. So being a mom is a creation, the ultimate creation. And then you create a business. And so you're just being so creative on both sides of that. And so you have 2 children now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep.
Wonderful.
4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
4-year-old and a 2-year-old. How amazing.
Full house.
Good. So I would say, what do you like to do for fun? But what would you do for fun if you had?
If I did have time, what I would do for fun, honestly, anytime I do have free time, I find myself creating something else. I find myself planning an event. I find myself branding something else, or creating something else on my website, creating a new offer. But in the spare time, I love to decorate. I love to shop and decorate and just make things beautiful and create outside of a laptop too. So any kind of crafting or decorating, anything I can do like that, I'm all about.
That's wonderful. Yep. And you also mentioned your events. So, like me, you do also put on a lot of events. What's your favorite part, I guess, about putting on the events?
Definitely not the planning phase. Definitely not the planning phase. Like, I am one of those people that, like, if we're going to redo a piece of furniture, I'm not going to sand it. I'm just going to jump right in and paint it. So, like, the detail work is really just hard for me. I hate the planning phase, but watching it all come to fruition makes it worth it. And also, people tell me, like, after the event, people will tell me what they got out of it. That kind of drives me forward for the next time. Um, so that's probably my favorite part. It's just like seeing it all come to fruition, everything that you've put in for like months, weeks, however long that is. And then just hearing what people say, like watching people enjoy something that you've built is just really exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. I have the privilege of getting to work with an event planner when my clients hire me and they give me the people and the budget and the genre and the whatever, and I get to put it together, which is great. And then, but you and I was just talking to you about another friend of mine who puts together events. Like, we're just the creative minds, and then we don't have that. We don't have that process support. And you know what? We do pull off a great event, and we get the feedback and we make the next one even better.
Yes, that's a huge part of it.
That's a huge part of it.
Tweaking and refining and being like, well, someone really, if I can incorporate something like that someone asked for at a previous event at a next event and they're there to see it, that's always really rewarding too, because they're like, wow, you actually thought of this. You actually listened to my feedback and implemented what I asked for.
Absolutely. 100%. And like, feedback and implementing feedback is something, no matter what business we're in, we should definitely be listening to our clients and our customers, and really any feedback we get, and seeing like where that fits in our business and our roles. So, I mean, where do you see your company going?
And that's a big question. Honestly, I've been toying with the idea of a book.
Great.
Yeah, I've been toying with the idea of a book. I keep putting off my YouTube, but I am starting back up my podcast. So I think just being able to grow in a way that I can help people that don't pay me. Like, there's so many people out there that I can help that I'm never going to get a chance to be with one-on-one. Like, there's just not the capacity for that. So looking for a way that I can take the work that I do one-on-one with people and just broaden it so that other people can make use of it and learn from it. I think that's probably the biggest thing on my mind right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So your YouTube, I think, will be out before this episode drops. So do you have, we're looking at December. So can you get it up and running by December? Awesome.
Yeah.
So it will be, it will be in the show notes. I'm super excited about that. What's going to be the theme for your podcast?
Definitely going to be centered around messaging and marketing, just really making it simple, making it clear, because that's the biggest thing. Like, going into 2025, it's not that people aren't buying, but people are buying differently. People are taking a lot longer to make decisions. They're thinking through their buying decisions a lot more, just because trust is at such a low, especially when we're working with high ticket people. So that's what it'll be centered around. Just really like freshening up your message, updating that message, making sure that you're still connecting with people, making sure that you're still growing as a brand, even though there are like thousands other people around you doing the same thing, helping you stand out.
And so this is going to be free content on your YouTube?
Yep.
Good for you. Wow.
Yep. I'm going to try to double my podcast and YouTube at the same time.
Nice. Now, do you have courses as well, workshops, other ways that people can work with you?
I do have workshops. I do have some workshops on there. Primarily, I work with my clients in a small group setting or in a one-on-one basis. I haven't really dived into courses yet. And I think because a lot of what I do for people is really dependent on them getting vulnerable and like just saying what they really want to say and being authentic. And so sometimes I find that they come to me learning all of this information. They know all the marketing information, but they need someone to apply it to them. And they need to want someone to say like, hey, I see this like hesitation here. What's that all about? Like, where are we playing small? And that's a lot of times what they need more than they need the information.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then focusing on women, being in small groups, that all kind of parlays into moving that to the next step forward.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, how can our listeners find you?
Find me on Instagram. That's mainly where I camp out. It's Payton Moran with 2 underscores after because one was already taken. I'm also on Facebook, but primarily you'll just find me on Instagram and Threads hanging around. That's where I like to spend more of my time these days.
Threads. I have a Threads, but I don't know what to do with it.
I love Threads.
Wonderful.
Yes.
We'll talk more about that.
Down low on that.
It's awesome. Well, thanks everybody for listening and watching the Success Partner podcast. I say listening and watching because we're now on Spotify as well, but mainly have a YouTube following. So stay tuned. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you.